cation test. So let's say sodium chloride again. So sodium chloride is a salt, it's a ionic substance. Any issue with that statement? No. Okay. So this one will form, this is a positive ion and this one is a negative ion. So positive ions are this and then negative ion is this.
Okay.
If you have issues with terminology, that is the terminology. So you in QA, they want you to identify the cation and the anion. So cation test is basically adding sodium hydroxide and aqueous ammonia. Then from there, you will identify the solubility of, whether there's a precipitate, that's one. Two is whether it is soluble, the precipitate is soluble or insoluble when you add excess NaOH or ammonia. So then color, I say already lah, color must be noted. Then there's a third criteria, that means what happens is certain substances like ammonium, when ammonium salts, right, when they are added to sodium hydroxide, it will cause the ammonia gas to come out.
Then if that one mixed with the ammonia itself, nothing happens, is it?
The ammonium salt with ammonia equals ammonia, nothing will happen. Yeah, that's right.
I see.
Then that means if you throw into sodium hydroxide, you smell smell something smelly, you know it's ammonia already lah.
Okay.
But there's only one. This one should say already, or they send you to labs and then after that ask you to do QA, then you'll be playing with it already. So there are two steps. So one is you add a few drops and then the second round they will ask you to add some more, add excess. So then you take note of the observation before and then the observation after. So you'll get a bunch of this table again that they tell you, sorry, you have to memorize that. In the practical, you don't have to memorize because this chart is given to you.
Okay. Why they give us the chart?
So that you focus on doing the practical and you can answer and all that. So their test is during the practical is they are testing you whether you can do the practical test itself, the physical aspect of it. So they will not want to handicap you because you cannot remember a single thing. But then if you go to the theory paper, the whole purpose is to see whether you remember all your stuff and understand all your stuff or not. So then they will, I think they never give you. I remember don't have them. Yeah, so you have this. Then, I mean, of course, that means you have to devise a way to memorize this. Yeah. Then so what happened is you have to devise a way to remember the colors lah. But as I said earlier, okay, there are certain ones like the green color and the reddish brown. Yeah. Then do you know about this?
No, I do not.
In your periodic table, there's two groups only here. Then in your periodic table, there's this middle section.
Is that the transition metal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So metals inside this group, right, will form colored compound. Colored compound. Then you will see that copper and iron is in that area.
So they form color.
So they will have color lah. But of course, in certain cases like zinc and lead may be also there, but they don't form colored stuff.
So got exceptions.
Yeah, but if you want colored substance, then it's just copper and iron.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you will also notice in your questions, then they'll say, a white PPT is formed, you have X, chemical X add sodium hydroxide, then you get a white PPT form. Then after that, then the next line is name the white PPT, right?
Yeah.
So there are standard names one. That means if it's if you notice, I bold the names. So in this case, the white PPT form when sodium hydroxide is added to aluminium salt, the white PPT is this. Okay, identify for you already. So if it's calcium, right, the white PPT.
But then the precipitate will always be the solid, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So your light blue is this one. So your green is this. So if they ask for the green precipitate, right, the name is always there lah.
Okay.
Then the aluminium one down here, then you say excess. When you add excess sodium hydroxide, then the precipitate dissolve and give a color solution. The color solution is this. But you don't need to know the identity of the color solution. You don't need to know the name.
So they won't ask.
They won't ask. They will only ask this side, what is the name of the white PPT? What is the name of the blue PPT?
Okay.
So the big thing is you must remember whether there is a PPT, whether the PPT, okay, the color of the PPT, and then whether it dissolves in excess. Then you take this information, you go and match the observation in the flowchart.
Oh, okay, can.
So if they say, oh, there's a light blue PPT, then after that, when you add excess ammonia, then it remains the same. Then you know. And anyway, if they say light blue, right, or blue color, anything blue is copper already.
Okay. No other element?
Yo, but then not in your
Oh, not in my.
syllabus. Yeah. So that means if it's blue, right, then it's confirm only copper 2+ already. So if they say green color, right, then it's confirm only copper 2+ or iron 2+. But the green color is different. But it's not in the lab. So on books they will just say green, light green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That means so this one, right? This one don't need to remember the name.
Oh, but the name is very long.
They have a name for it. They say this is a complex ion. But then already say complex already, that's why they obviously look like some monster.
I see. Okay, can.
So, I mean, I would have to tell you that, oh, you don't have to remember this, but you need to know that the precipitate dissolve, then give you egg color solution. That one you need to know, but you don't need to know the name.
Okay.
Whatever salt name they want, precipitate name, right, is only under this column. A few drops that section.
Okay, can. So I need to remember the equation also, right?
Remember, then you start vomiting.
But I have to balance it out, right?
You have to you have to know how to write your chemical equation. If you know how to write your chemical equation, you don't have to memorize any of this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I say if you memorize this, you'll start vomiting, and then after that you convulse, and then after that you will晕倒. Then you say I don't want to take chemistry anymore. Don't have to remember at this point of time. Okay, so then this is your legendary ammonium.
Well, no precipitate.
Yeah, no precipitate. Ammonium salts will react with sodium hydroxide.
Oh.
Then after that, right, then you see the chemical equation there. So if you heat, right, after adding the sodium hydroxide, the sodium hydroxide will cause ammonia gas to expel.
Why? It doesn't just...
It's their characteristic. So if remembering it is easier than to understand why
that happens.
Yeah, because the explanation is not nice. Yeah, so this one you need to remember. Then okay, ammonia one is the same, equals ammonia. So you have to remember the before and after. Then anything that you need to remember is over here. The other side, this one don't need to remember the name. You just need to remember the behavior, what you see only. Yeah.
So when the table says no precipitate is formed, does it mean that it's colorless, or is it just
that
cloud?
means in the aqueous ammonia you will still see like the aqueous ammonia remain the same.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing will fully dissolve in if it's a solution, right? If it's a solution, that means you use the aqueous ammonia to there. Then you take a few drops of the calcium compound, right? Which is already in aqueous form, you pour in. So no precipitate means after you pour in your calcium compound, right? The aqueous ammonia still look the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that.
So it's the same as just now.
Just now that one. So I'm not going to waste your time on this.
Okay.
Now, then this is the one with no reaction. Ammonium salt with ammonia.